What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lit Individual Show, where we have authentic conversations with lit people who are doing great things in their industries, their businesses, their lanes, creating their own lanes, all the above. I'm really excited about my guest today. This is my sister in media. I'm talking about all-around maven, a creator, a leader, giving back. The list literally goes on and on and on. The hats, I can't even tell you how many she wears. So right now, representing the Media Girls Network, let's welcome Jelisa Raquel.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Yes,
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. We're having good conversations when we have conversations, but I was like, look, we've got to be able to share some of this wisdom with some folks, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've got to ask, how have you been? I know that you are a busy person. You stay active all the time. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I'm thankful to be booked and busy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah. We want to be booked. We like being booked and busy. Sometimes though, I know that the question may come up if I'm doing too much, right? Absolutely. If I've got too much. So I want to break the ice, right? I want to play a game with you, and I'm going to give you some scenarios, right? And I want you to tell me if it's too much or just enough.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Posting 10 plus Instagram stories in one day from a red carpet. Is that too much or just enough?
Just enough. I mean, if you're gonna work in media and do content and be consistent, then you can't be worried about if you're posting too much. You're gonna reach the right audience. Yeah, you gotta get that content out there.
And I think the key in that is on the red carpet, right?
Definitely.
So on your regular day, would you post 10 plus Instagram stories?
No, not on a regular day.
So that's the difference, right?
Normally I'm showcasing. I mean, if I'm posting on a regular day, maybe showing what I'm doing behind the scenes, as far as like a client's publicity campaign or, BTS at a photo shoot. I'm always showing something like kind of to the lifestyle of what I'm doing, but not every single day. Every single day I'm not going to be on set either. Yeah. So, I feel like take advantage of those opportunities when you're working in the field to showcase what it is that you actually do.
Yeah, you got to train that algorithm, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, too much or just enough launching a new brand or platform every year?
That's too much.
That's too much.
I mean, I feel like if you got to launch a new brand every year, you ain't doing something right.
Every single year?
Because I see there's nothing wrong with like launching a new collection, a new product, something up underneath that brand. But if you're launching a new brand every year, how successful are these brands? Are you really watering it? Are you giving it time to grow? Because I feel like, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So if you are launching a new brand every year, it seems like you all over the place and you probably ain't got too much of anything that's really consistent.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Too much or just enough flying out of state for a 5-minute celebrity interview?
Who is the celebrity? It depends. So my thing is, you got to stay ready. So it depends on what the opportunity is, who it is, and what your goal is with that content. Because I've seen people go viral with a 60-second clip. So who's to say this can't be a life-changing interview, a life-changing opportunity? It just depends on what the purpose is and who it is. Like, I'm not saying go be a celebrity chaser or whatever. If you have a story, if it's something that fits into what you're doing with your brand, if it makes sense, not just chasing down a celebrity for...
It's got to make sense.
Yeah.
And that can get expensive, too.
Absolutely.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, taking every opportunity, even when your schedule is full. Is that too much or just enough? Taking every opportunity, even though you ain't got the bandwidth for it.
I think I've been guilty of that before. That's why I had to think about this answer.
You're like, is this for me?
Dude, is this shade? No, I definitely feel like sometimes it can be too much. I've gotten to the point where, because I'm one of those people, like, I wear many hats, so I want to do everything. But realistically, you can't do everything well. So that goes back to that. So I got to the space where I can't overcommit. I know my limits and what I can balance, and I'm going to choose those things. So if I can allow the time for it, then it makes sense. But I definitely say it's too much if you're taking on things and you're stretching yourself thin and you can't do those things well. Because I'll take on things to the capacity where I know, well, I can handle this, I can handle that much. Once I know I ain't going to be able to keep it afloat, okay, time to draw back some.
Yeah. And I know we're going to get more into as far as being like multi-hyphenate and wearing all of those different hats. But, to that point, it also really makes me think about, making sure that the client is really being able to be serviced. If you have all these different things going on, not only are you putting too much on yourself, but you're not able to give the client quality work. And then eventually that's going to speak for it. then it becomes a whole thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, last one. Just enough or too much working on your laptop even when you're on vacation. In the middle of vacation, you working on your laptop.
That's another one that
depends.
I do. So my answer, it depends on the situation. Because yes, I was in Mexico with my laptop on the beach. But do you not know what I'm making off of those communications? It just depends.
They don't care if
Maybe those communications are paying for this vacation. Okay? So yeah, sometimes it takes balance and it just has to make sense. Like, it's so funny. Literally a week ago, I shared a reel on Instagram and it was like, it said going on a vacation with CEOs be like, and it showed like 3 or 4 different female CEOs
I seen that. Yep.
on their laptop. They were all like, they were in the airport on the laptop. They was on the train on the laptop. They was on a vacation, but they were still on vacation though. They were still on vacation. That's the point. But the thing is, if you run in a company, sometimes those things require your expertise, or maybe certain things you're not allowing other people to handle for your company.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to find a little bit of balance, but I understand. I actually overstand. Because yes, that was me. And I did say on my next vacation, my laptop will not be on the beach with me.
You'll close it like Kris Jenner.
It's going to be in the room, but it ain't going to be on the beach.
Yeah, but I really think that's a good point. And it's so funny because I remember seeing that video and I remember being like, dang. Half of me was like, dang, like they are all working while on vacation, but also it's like, but they're bosses. Like,
blessed.
This isn't the employee. This is someone who is leading a group of probably more than 10 plus people. And the money don't stop because you're on vacation. So if you want to get back and the train still moves, and the beauty is you're going to get off the call. Yeah. So after you get off the call, you can go back to dinner.
And enjoy yourself.
You can go back to the beach and run on. And if you miss a call, you call them right back when you need to. But we're going to get into that too.
There's multiple ways to look at that because I think about that video. Like I said, I shared that video and I felt like, oh my God, I can relate. And I literally sent this to my business friend. Yeah. And we were both laughing. But the thing is, we're still blessed because then in that same thing, on that same timeline, I see a video of a guy being 34 and emotional because he just booked his first hotel room. So that brings perspective to me. Because it lets me know how blessed I am. Yes, I do work a lot and I'm traveling sometimes and I'm working, but you not know how much that work has paid and the reason why I'm in the room, the reason why I am traveling, I've been able to travel the world off of my passions alone. I've been able to experience things I never imagined experiencing. So it gave me perspective because this is someone crying and blessed that he's just booked his first hotel room at 34. Like, do you know how many I can't even think of how many hotel rooms, flights, trips I done took. That's in a month. Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just looking at the perspective. So it's blessed. No matter how you look at it, we're blessed to be in the spaces to be able to do what we do. Yeah,
when you wake up, it's not I have to go to work. It's I get to go to work. I get to go and create brands and to work with people who have passions and dreams to where otherwise they would have never thought to be on this red carpet or thought they could be on this show or thought they would get this proclamation. And being able to watch you has really, really been an honor. Seeing you just do, again, so many different things. I remember growing up, there was triple threat. That is not even a thing anymore. It's multi-hyphenate, right? Yeah. There's and I feel like we both have synergy in this. We're journalists. We do PR, event planning. And mind you, I'm saying this, but she does it like 2 times more, right? So while I was behind the news desk, I'm talking planning events, working with organizations, working with businesses, writing, being an editor-in-chief, being a leader and creating your own organization to where you can help other media girls and men to not only succeed, but to be able to see what is possible, to be able to see that their dreams can come true, to be able to, you not only say, you've gotten to the point where you have countless of flights and hotels, but yet you've got Media Girls on tour. You've got a Media Girls network. You've got a Media Girls magazine. You've got men in media. And I really just want to give you your flowers because of the way that you are just really killing it. I told you before we started recording, thank you for your time because I know that is probably your most valuable thing is your time. Absolutely. Just how do you manage all of just what you got going on?
Honestly, the only way I am able to really manage what I have going on is because I've literally trained up the next generation of media, professionals, influencers that are coming right up behind me. Because when I can't be there, then I can put them in space. You know what I'm saying? If I have to travel here, then I can make sure they can hold this event down in Atlanta. I'm training them to do what I do. I'm showing them my ways because, I want to show them how to also be leaders in their own right. They're launching their own podcasts, their own shows, their own networks. There's one girl that joined our network maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Now she has her own prominent tennis network, and it's based in the DMV. So she's created a whole community of women that get together and they talk business across tennis. You know what I'm saying? And then we just recently collaborated together because I have a client that works in tax, and she's a tax coach, and so she did an event that was tennis and tax, and so we collaborated, and that's what it's all about. Like when you pour into the next generation, then you're able to cross and build together. I mean, people like to network up, but I say network across. The people that are right across from you may have those tools that you need for you guys to be on that same journey and level up together.
Yeah. And I noticed that you have Media Girls ambassadors. Yeah, is that it? So one thing, because I want to make sure that because you do so much, I want to make sure I break it down for folks, right? So let's talk a little bit about Media Girls.
Okay.
So how does that brand expand? I mean, you have Media Girls Network, Media Girls on Tour, Media Girls Magazine, and then also Men in Media.
Yeah.
Talk to me just about this enterprise essentially that you have with this brand.
So, I mean, of course, it really just started out as me just trying to build a network with women that are on the same journey as myself. A lot of times we were taught to compete, and I just was like, why compete when we can work together? Because one, we're Black. 2, we're women, so we already got to work harder to get in these spaces. 3, let's work together so we can do it, because we know when 2 or 3 of us come together, we're much stronger. Yeah. And so I built this network, honestly, just starting off with us just uniting with women across the world that were doing the same thing as me. So when I say that, if I was traveling to CIAA, then I'm going to host a CIAA Media Girls meetup. And there I'm going to unite all the top media professionals in Charlotte, from news professionals to bloggers to the creators behind the scenes to celebrities to entertainers. I mean, we had it all. We were going to Charlotte and it was feeling like Atlanta because it's just as big when we would go and do our events in Charlotte. We would bring out the news, the city, everyone would be present. And it was about us connecting with different women in different markets. And so then we also did the same in Detroit. We did the same thing in Chicago. Of course, we've been building in Atlanta for quite some time, but the goal was to kind of build this ecosystem of women in media. And me being a publicist, I didn't even realize how big of a system I had built until it really dawned on me, because it's like, now I can go and get clients in any of these cities, and I already know the media outlets, the producers, how to route them, where to route them, because I've already been building in these same communities, these same networks, these same cities. Also from doing that, I expanded, we need to have our own home platform. So we got our own correspondence within Media Girls, and then we started building out the website with the blog and everything. That lead us now to launching, Media Girls Magazine. So with Media Girls Magazine, the purpose is to give another platform to highlight the people behind the scenes. We're the ones sharing the stories. We're the ones keeping people relevant. We're the one letting people know about these products. But a lot of times this is a thankless industry. Yeah. So I created a network that's literally going to thank the people behind the scenes. And so with the magazine, we did our initial cover. We had some producers from Fox, our morning show here in Atlanta. Nice. Also 11 Alive News. We had some independent creators. We had some podcasters that we highlighted in this issue. We wanted to really showcase the different sides of media, all the different angles, even radio. We had radio included as well. So we think about the people behind the scenes that are really sharing the stories. And so that was the magazine. I mean, essentially the purpose with all of the platforms, we are amplifying the women and the men behind the scenes, the creators, whether you're a creative director, whether you're a writer, a blogger, whatever your role is that you do with, content and sharing stories in the industry, that's what we like to highlight. So now, of course, we have Men in Media. Men in Media is the same exact thing, but we're highlighting the men behind the scene. So every year when we do Media Girls on Tour, we also have a Men in Media panel where we highlight men in media. just last year during our media weekend, we were able to give a proclamation to Ryan Cameron. Everyone knows he is a huge influence and impact when it comes to the media and entertainment industry, especially in Atlanta, but he is more than an Atlanta figure. He is global. And so we were able to give Ryan Cameron a proclamation. We have also given Young Jock a proclamation here in this city. We've also awarded a lot of prominent radio personalities here, like Sue Solo. She has our own day through Media Girls Network as well. We were really just here to amplify the people that never get the praise that they deserve. Working on some really, really different things and bringing in all different elements of media this year. So we are going to highlight some streamers. We're bringing in some, setting up something where we can showcase the new age of digital content as well.
Because it's changing.
It's definitely changing. So we got to bring those streamers in now. They're part of the conversation. They're relevant. We're seeing celebrities go to them on their press tours and implementing them into their marketing campaigns. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to amplify that as well.
Just hearing all the stuff that you have done, and then to know you're literally not even close to done yet. So growing with things like the radio, just all these different things that you're bringing together. I mean, I love to see. Congratulations in advance on just all the things that you continue to work on, continue to launch. And I love that you talked about being able to give folks their flowers, right? Yeah. Especially people who are behind the scenes. Yeah. As someone who, I came from the theater space, right? And one thing that they always told us is that you've got to show love to your people behind the scenes. Absolutely. The people who you see on stage, the actors, the band, the orchestra, the production, even a lot of the stage hands and audio crew, but it's people behind the scenes that you don't know about, that they do so much, and they don't get that credit. Yeah. Ryan Cameron, you literally hear him in the airport. Yes. The largest and busiest airport in the world has a black man. When you get on the plane train, A is for Atlanta. That is someone who is a local radio legend, a national radio legend, but a global figure. We were there for Jagirl Raven, for Jagirl TV, and being able to see, her flowers be able to be received. And, again, the great job that you do by not only honoring those who came before us, who have been doing great things in their industry and being lit individuals, but also continuing to help build other lit individuals and saying, hey, you're an influencer. Hey, what was it? I remember I was at it was at Jagirl Raven's 10-year anniversary, and one of your ambassadors now, I had asked her, I said, what do you do? She said, I just like to go to events and recap. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's a job. And she said, people literally just come to me and ask me to come to their events, get video, do recaps, and then I normally have it posted up when the event's over. And I said, I just was impressed because I'm like, wow, that is an evolving form of media. Yeah. And as someone who went to school for journalism, it's a whole different ballgame as far as journalism and what that looks like, right? Absolutely. But the way that we're evolving with streamers and influencers and editors, it's like if you have CapCut or if you have, just even on Instagram, you're an editor in a way. There are different levels and different forms, different tiers and things like that, but you're an editor. So just seeing, the landscape is changing, is it not? Yeah, definitely. Everything is content. You're talking about Ashley, and that's literally what she likes to do. Yeah. Like, we'll ask her to do other stuff. Like, she just wants to be behind the scenes. She wants to get her videos. Yeah. And put together nice transitions, and she posted it up. That's her thing. But to your point, getting up content now with everybody having a phone, everything being real time. It's like, you get that content up, you get it out first. You're getting leads on storage. You're getting access to stuff that other people don't have access to. It's just so many different layers, because now you got to do content for TikTok. You need to do it for Instagram. It's so. Like, when we went to school for journalism, never did I think we would be doing 4 or 5 different forms of the same type of video, different ways to put it out to different content. Because they decided to create social media. Yep, some is horizontally, some is vertically, some is quicker, some is more long form. It's just, but I love it though, because it gives you a chance to have a voice in so many different angles, so many different ways, because you're going to create different content depending on what platform you're sharing it on. Certain content is going to do better on certain platforms. Yeah. So I just feel like media is forever evolving with social media and now AI and ChatGPT and all this other stuff. It's just like,
it's not going to stop evolving. So you got to stay ahead of it. You got to be ahead of the game.
Yeah. And by being ahead of the game, one thing is, always be in the room, right? When you're in these rooms, when you're navigating these spaces, and I'm not sure how I think within your Media Girls network, it kind of just probably comes naturally. But when it comes to networking, when it comes to when you enter a room, obviously you as a publicist, you know how to make those connections. Literally, it's in the name, relations with the public. How do you advise people on how to network when they are entering a room that maybe they literally don't know anyone in the room? Maybe they're the only person of color in the room. Maybe they're the only person of a specific community in the room. Maybe they're someone who just is an introvert and they just don't know how to network. How do you advise someone to get comfortable with just starting to network?
Well, I feel like first you got to be comfortable with yourself. You need to have some type of pitch. You need to know who you are, because when you introduce yourself, hey, my name is Jelisa. I'm a journalist. I work in public relations. My focus is business. Whatever it is that you do, you should be able to spit that off at the drop of a dime. You know what I mean?
Elevator pitch.
So you got to know who you are. Have your elevator pitch together. That's the term. So you got to be able to introduce yourself. But also, if you're one of those people that are very nervous, don't like to talk a lot, you want to do a quick little intro, who your name is, your title, get a digital card and share it to their phone, so you don't have to do all that talking. Hey, I just want to give you my information. Check
Scan
me
my
out.
QR code.
Can I get yours?
Yeah.
Let's follow back up. Because everybody don't do well with the introductions.
Yeah.
But if you really want to build and grow, especially in your entrepreneur, you got to get comfortable doing that. Yeah. Because your network is definitely your net worth. And if you don't know nobody, baby, and nobody know you, you're not going to be selling much.
You got to pitch yourself.
So you definitely got to learn to pitch yourself. Definitely get you a card. Like I said, digital cards now, because people are just throwing away physical cards for the most part. Get you a digital card, get you an elevator pitch. And if you're super nervous, go to the bar, get you a little, right before, calm your nerve. And make sure you go give your cards out.
It's so interesting that you say that, because one, I have a digital business card, and also business cards. Now I remember going online, and when we used to pay for all them business cards, it could get expensive. A lot of the times, because I actually love going into a room and not knowing anyone there.
Yeah.
When I enter the room, this is gonna sound funny. I look for two things. One, I look for the food. People love to go to the food. Second thing, go to the bar.
The bar, yeah.
Because people they get comfortable, when you're at the bar, and I'll get a Chardonnay. Oh, I like Chardonnay too. Being able to have even those kind of moments, or, it's like, oh, you like so-and-so. Oh, no, I don't like that. Or you having conversations, those are two good ways to really just network with someone if you enter a room and have no idea.
Yeah. People always friendly at the bar. Everybody friendly.
Yeah, they're always friendly at the bar. The CEO, they having a drink, or the vice president, and it really is good conversations.
Yeah.
And also, being just not really afraid to talk to anyone.
Absolutely.
You never know.
You got to go for it.
Yeah.
You got to introduce yourself. That's the best way. When you're in these rooms, you got to remember you're there for a reason. Yeah.
My mama would say, I think I get it from my grandma. My mama would say, our grandma never met a stranger. So I feel like that's kind of my term. Like, you never really meet a stranger, because there's always something that we have in common with someone else.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter the difference in your skin color, your beliefs, anything like that. You've got something in common.
Absolutely.
Something in common. And I think that's very, very important. Speaking of that, I want to go back to the beginning for you, right? What was it that got you inspired to do media? What made you say, I want to be a media girl. I want to do that. Was it someone that you've seen? Was it an experience you had? Was it something you were exposed to? How did you get introduced to what you're doing now?
I want to say my first introduction, I was in grade school. Going to school here, they took us to the CNN Center when I was in 4th grade. And we did a tour at the CNN Center, and we got to go on the green screen, and I was the one that got selected to talk on the green screen. And so I went up there, I talked, I got my little video, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a news anchor. That's what I'm gonna do. And that was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just like, I always was doing things like speaking roles, in church, in plays, all kind of stuff. So I always kind of had that personality, but really it was that experience that made me think, oh, this is what I want to do with my life. And then from doing that, I pursued that in high school. we were able to have a program where if you got selected, you could go and take college courses while you were at the high school half of the day. Dope. The school bus would take us over to a college campus and we would get to take those courses. So my junior and senior year of school, I was only on campus half of the day because I was in a program where I went over and worked in a real like newsroom for the rest of the day. From the 11th till I graduated from high school for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so
you were a sophomore? Like a sophomore during this? You said last 2 years.
I was a junior and a senior.
Okay.
In high school. And so I produced newscasts. I ran the board. I learned audio. I was actually the news spokesperson for the college. I would do the morning morning news every morning for the campus.
A high school student was doing the college news.
College news,
wow.
Yes. And so it was such a dope program because there were students that was doing like, they were already like doing programs to be in dentistry. It was just, they had different programs and I got into communications program. So I literally was learning a full newsroom at 15 to 16 years old.
Wow.
So that was an awesome opportunity. And I felt like, I kept getting these opportunities and solidifying that, I'm on the right path. Then you had another opportunity where we got the chance. It was a program where a student get selected to actually write for the newspaper. So I was writing for our newspaper my junior and senior year as well, like the Noon and Times Herald, which is where I'm from. I was writing for that newspaper, and the only black voice that paper had, I was the only black person in the program.
Wow.
Like it was nothing but a whole bunch of prep students. They were all white because I come from a very suburban area where it wasn't a lot of us anyways. And so I was the only black voice, but what I was doing with my articles at that time, I was writing about the programs we were doing at the Boys and Girls Club. I was writing about my experiences applying for college. I was writing about prom, just from a young black girl's perspective.
Sheesh.
And so all of those opportunities, I got those before I even hit college. So mind you, I get to school and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to write for the school newspaper. And I didn't go to a HBCU. I went to Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Okay.
So it's a complete different landscape. And so I'm like, I remember I applied to write for the school newspaper, and I came in with my real newspaper from the Noon and Times Herald. Mind you, I'm 17 at the time. I'm not thinking nothing about this teacher. The man that's interviewing me, he's 70. He's like an old white man. So he can't relate to me at all.
Anywhere.
So I'm coming in with my laminated newspapers, and he looking at me like, who you think you is? Like, this little teenager coming in done wrote for a real newspaper. I just want to write for the school paper. Man, that man looked at my paper and sent me the quickest. That was like a 30-second interview, my love. And that was the first time I was like, wow. Like, that was the first time. Because, mind you, when you're young, you're in high school, you're coming up, you're in a very sheltered environment. You're only exposed to your school, your church, your family. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know rejection or anything up to that term because I was doing stuff and I was around people that was nurturing my gifts. So when I got to Jacksonville State University, that white man didn't give me the time of day. I got rejected from writing for the school paper. And I'm like, I wrote for a real newspaper.
Like I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Like, so that was a different experience going to school there because it was a lot of rejections.
Well, to that point, what did that feel like? You said you had not really felt that rejection before because you had people who were nurturing you. So when you walked out and you had that experience, what did that feel like?
It felt bad, and it felt like I knew it wasn't right, but I'm so young, I'm only 17 at the time, haven't really experienced much life. I just felt rejected, and I felt like, you know what? I really don't feel as me. I feel like, you know what? I thought about it. I was like, thinking about who interviewing me. I'm like, this man probably ain't never wrote for a real newspaper. And this is the peak of his career. So the highlight of his day was telling this little black girl, you ain't finna write for the school paper. And I realized that because I was just like, I talked to my mom about it and going to school in Alabama and also being at a school where we were not the majority. I had to, I'll say this. It wasn't the first time I felt like I was rejected from something because of my skin color. That's why. I wasn't used to rejection, but I was used to dealing with racism because I did go to a very white high school. And even at that high school, though, I didn't really have to deal with much rejection. I would deal with a lot of negative energy because they didn't like the fact that I would go for everything. Right. I came to that school and I won Miss Northgate in the 11th grade. And at the time when I won it, I had only been at the school for 2 weeks. I had just transferred into that high school. And so I competed in their pageant, and it was for the soccer program. So a black girl won the pageant for the soccer program. I only been at the school 2 weeks. They like,
you was just a threat, but you was just doing you.
It was so funny because as the queen, I won. They had to invite me back. When I came back, little white girls, it was like, I don't even think she's all that. I don't even know why she won. Da da da. But then they coming to me asking for tips on how to win.
Look how that go. Got it. Look.
So I was just, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't used to rejection, but I was used to dealing with stuff like that because of my skin color. Because I knew I was good enough. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a good feeling, but also it was an eye opener because you're not always going to get every opportunity because you deserve it. There's people in the way that don't want to see you grow, that don't want to see you, you know, flourish, and that's why I created Media Girls Network.
Yeah. As I think about, first of all, hearing that story, hearing how you overcame that, and now you're empowering so many women of color, girls of color, men of color, and inspiring them to be able to do so many different things. When you look back now, what would you say to that little girl? What would you say to the teenage you in high school going from high school, getting ready to go to college, who had that rejection and she walked out feeling bad? All the things you've done now, what would you tell her?
Chin up, you know, smile, keep going, push forward. You're going to make it. Because, yeah, it was so much. You know, even though I was doing, like, even when I was sitting here telling you this story, knowing how much I had already accomplished, having those grown adults do that still made me doubt myself in some sense because I was still very young, you know, I was still growing. So it made me feel like, oh, well, you know, it put a stamp or a damper on what I was trying to do because definitely at my university, I felt like I really couldn't use my voice or be as active because every time I tried to do something with the organization, I felt like I was getting blocked. But that's also what made me go so hard and form my own platforms eventually. I stopped waiting for people to give me a platform to share my voice, and I just created it. Yeah. So thank you for, you know, turning me around because now I have my own magazine. Now I'm launching my own radio show. I don't need you to put me on. I put myself on.
That's right.
So that's what I would have told myself back then. I should have told myself, let's go start a newspaper. I would have got more readers than y'all.
Go start your own right now.
Put the school out of here.
Because you don't know where this podcasting going to be sooner or later. You don't know where else this is going.
Exactly.
You know, I really appreciate your transparency, your honesty, your creativity, your love, your passion. It definitely all speaks for itself. I want to go ahead and wrap up. But what advice would you give to other people out there, whether or not they want to join Media Girls, whether they are timid, whether they say, I was told I'm not a good writer, I don't know if I can write, I don't really like to write or read, I don't know if I'm good at it. What advice would you give to them?
My advice would be to just tune out the naysayers, tune out the negativity. I was told that you couldn't do public relations and also be a journalist. I was told I couldn't do a lot of things that I'm actively doing and you're watching me do it, okay? So I would say to tune out the naysayers, tune out the people that are trying to put doubts in your dream, and surround yourself around people that are pouring into you, that are nurturing, that see that gift and that light in you. Because the people you're around really matters. Your circle really matters. The energy that you entertain really matters. If I could say anything, I felt like I would have blossomed a lot sooner if I would have tuned out the naysayers a lot sooner. So I'm telling you right now, you may not be in the position that you want to be. You may not be who you think you are right now, but it's inside of you. It's in you. So go ahead, pop it, nurture it. Yeah. Get around people that are going to help you grow it, man. Like, change your circle. And for people that's telling you that it's too big of a dream, they just don't dream big enough. So you got to get around people that are dreaming on the same level as you.
Or bigger. Because I never could imagine doing half of the things I'm doing, but I'm here doing it. And it's like when God sees something in you, he will bring you the people you need, the team you need, the circle you need, and the people that are going to help you flourish. So trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your journey, and just keep walking forward boldly. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, real quick, before we wrap up, I want to do what we call a rapid fire 5. I'm going to give you 5 influential girls in media, and I want you to give me one word that you would say describes them.
Okay.
All right? You ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. We're going to call it Who's That Girl? Here we go. Oprah Winfrey.
A trailblazer.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Controversial.
Tamron Hall.
Inspirational.
Robin Roberts.
Bold. All of them, you know, represent something amazing because they're all different in their own light. So they all represent something different in media to me. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like all of them.
Last one, Keke Palmer.
That girl. I don't even know what else to say. She's just that girl. She's always been that girl, but she's an example of, like, you know, somebody that she was nourished from a very young age. And we're able to see that at every single level of her life and growth, no matter what, even with the negative things that might have been tried to thrown her way. Like, she conquers everything that you put out there. She's literally that girl. And I know that's two words, but yeah, Keke, that girl.
Keke's that girl. I used to want to be the youngest talk show host, but then she went and got one on BET. So, you know, if it was to be anyone, it would be Keke Palmer. So, you know, there you go. Yeah. Jelisa, thank you so much for being here. Again, for all of the things I said earlier, really, really appreciate it. You are a lit individual if no one told you otherwise.
Thank you so much, and so are you. I am very proud to be on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. I love you.
Love you more.
All right. Everyone, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you share this information so that other people who are interested in being media girls, media men, or anything like that, whatever your dreams are, I hope you left with some inspiration today. I'm your boy, Tony Betton Jr. Shout out to Train to Catch Planes, always doing it big here in the studio. And you guys, we want to know more lit individuals, so hit us up. Until next time, peace.
Ho, ho, ho.